I'm on. Someone was asking how are you doing last night, and I promised that I was going to get you on the camera soon.
Oh, I'm good.
We're on our way to church. Look at Amon looking good with his farm shoes. His meta bobbies.
Yeah, these are good promotions.
I was busy looking for earrings, and I hear Amon starting the car. He's like rushing me out of the house. Anyway, let's go. Just in case you haven't actually seen our road before, so every time we get to town, like our car is super dusty. So it's always embarrassing, even if you wash it before you leave. By the time you get there, it's like dusty. So on the side where you see the dust road, we are considered to be in the village, and just here where the tar starts, it's like part of Bulawayo. Hey.
Yeah.
So it's almost like our side is, if you could say so to speak, our side would be like the locations and this side would be like the suburbs, essentially. Yeah, and even the yards are bigger on the side of the road, and on our side they are smaller. So if you want to buy a plot this side, it's actually quite expensive. It's like town, really.
Yeah, it's slightly cheaper than town.
It's slightly cheaper than town because you can. Do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, it's slightly cheaper than town because the side you'll be looking at a plot is normally made of something like maybe 4 acres. So that would be like 45,000, 50,000. While in town it's about 45,000 for an acre.
Yeah.
Depending on the area.
Yeah. So we call this side my plot and our side the village. Our road is a narrow strip. This was an old farm road. Narrow strip, and so we don't even drive on it. So we were working on planting a church in the village, and it was super challenging. What do you say?
Yeah, no, it wasn't really challenging. You just didn't have support. We just didn't have spiritual support.
Yeah. So we were feeling like beat up. We were feeling beat up a lot. Amon was in particularly sick often. Like he was like never sick that often at when we were in town, right?
Yeah.
And he was more sick than he had ever been. And it's so funny. Like we decided to go back to town so that we can have spiritual support and be part of the church there. We're enjoying fellowship. We've been loving church so much.
Yeah.
And it's even like our life has become a bit different.
Yeah, no, definitely. The home church is amazing, honestly. And yeah, we feel strengthened every time we get there, and we enjoy the structure and the family that's leading it. They're doing an amazing job. So yeah.
Yvonne,
Yeah.
you said it better in church. What I was trying to get from you, the comment I was trying to get from you, you said it better in church.
Which one?
About church, how church has been.
I don't remember what I said. What did I say?
Try to say it again.
About how we needed spiritual support.
Yeah.
Just even as much as we're going around reaching out to people, doing door to door, which was good actually, which we should resume.
Yeah.
We kind of enjoyed that, but because we had no like spiritual support,
Yeah.
we kind of like were struggling, and I was not well, I was sick most of the times, and just with us starting from with home church, it's like we've improved so much actually. I've improved so much, even spiritually. I feel like we're spiritually well.
Yeah.
Even most of the times, like when it's not sharing, it will be me, but I still feel encouraged by meeting each other and encouraging one another. I don't know whether I said it better now.
Yeah, you did. It's funny actually because that's what we were talking about on the road. And then when we got to church, today we're basically talking about, we were going to talk about home church because we come from big church, and big church is also good. I mean, all of us, we've been in big church for years, auntie. But the experience that we have with home church, we are realizing more that sometimes in big church we sort of lose each other because it gets busy. There's too many people, and it kind of gets busy, and you kind of lose other people. Would you say?
Yeah.
And
not really lose other people. It's like other people lose themselves. So what happens with big churches is the whole idea is focused on a few people serving others, but not the whole body. So you find out the worship, they say the worship will lead you into worship, but the worship worships for you.
The worship team worships for you.
The worship team will worship for you. The deacons and the other staff, you find out they will serve the church instead of actually teaching your church to serve one another. So if you are in a home church or a small group, it kind of like teaches you or forces you for each person to be active in their group. So like
so it's like you can't hide behind other people. And you find that on a daily basis, like when we have like a Bible study discussion, you find out, you open up about your life experience. Like even today, like we're in the car talking about this, and then we got to church, and that's what the topic was on, and it was mainly on fellowship. And so Amon as well shared about how when we were in the village, we were really struggling because we were isolated. But since we've been back fellowship in this side, it's like I don't know, life is just different. So like you can't hide behind, you can't hide. It's like your life is open. I don't know if that makes sense. But but we still have a heart for the village. And you know what we discovered? So there's a part of our village that's called Chinatown, which is a new area where people are settling at. A lot of people who have settled there are from town. There's a car, I mean. They are from town. I'm probably the one distracting you. Let me quickly finish this conversation. And then what happened is, so they have settled there, and so they are not in church and not in fellowship. Some of them went to other churches, but since they're like in a village, they are not in church and not in fellowship. Transport is very difficult, especially on Sunday that side. Those people couldn't come to church in the village, but they are not in church in the villages. And our heart was not for a big church even in the village. We were wanting to start a small home church, and so go deeper in terms of the word, go deeper in terms of fellowship. And so we still want to do that, and we just need to trust the timing of the Lord. We want to resume house-to-house visits and encourage people. And so I'm realizing that I've talked too long, and that was not the intention. So Amon there was a message that came that someone was selling meat, and he decided to go check it out. Actually, he didn't have confidence. He thought it was going to be that meat that was chopped with an axe, only to find like good meat. So this was a fillet that he found, and he had to cut for yourself. He came home, marinated it, dressed it up, put it in the freezer. And so today we're having visitors and we're cooking it. You guys, I just wanted to show you guys how fresh these vegetables are. They are from our neighbor's house. They farm. So they're good. And these are the peas. They're also very fresh. It's interesting because normally when summer hits, the peas start getting brown, but these are still fresh. Very nice, very sweet. So these are the onions from next door. They're actually from the family that we buy water from. Look good. So I'm chopping up everything. Amon is throwing meat in the fire outside. The peas were not for today, but the green beans are, so all these are going to be roasted, I believe. I don't know what the chef is deciding. So this is a Zimbabwean salad for braai. Amon says it's standard. So what I've seen standard about it is when you do a braai like in front of a bottle store, there are some bottle stores where they do chisanyama, and so normally they would have this. Yeah, so
Then we put the frames for home and leave in the glass because I saw in your I need something like
Something.
that for your bathroom room on top of the sink. And this is either the dry side, remember?
oh yeah.
We have been spending time with Granny. If you spend time with Granny, everyone has to start with their vegetables. People will open up with like, maybe it's not so bad. We see Talamaka.
So, you shouldn't be showing everybody. That's full on common.
No. We want everyone. Do you know what we need to do? We want to start our own community, Lapemaka. In 10 years down the line, we will be telling our kids how we come so poor. But what happened is all the team that was coming out from Francistown, and you know what the truth is, Andrew?
So you know what I said? I said, if here, this gathering,